Joining us is Kamala Gamble with Cam's Cookery, and Kamala has entertained thousands of people across Oklahoma City with her delicious food and your CSA baskets as well. Kamala, tell us a little bit about what it takes to throw a good garden party together.
A garden party. Okay. You try to use what you have if you happen to have a garden. If you don't, there are fabulous farmers markets all over Oklahoma that you can go to.
So if you're looking for local foods.
Yes, if you're looking for local foods. And then because they just taste better.
Yeah.
And you have to do less to them.
They're fresh.
Yes, they're fresh, and the flavor is at its peak, and it's just delightful.
Okay.
And then in August, after we've been through all the heat, you would still be at the peak of tomatoes, and you'd have cantaloupe and corn and watermelon and all those beautiful things. But you're not going to have, you may be at the end of tomato season, and you're going to have plenty of okra.
Okay.
Yeah, you're going to have those hot, heat-loving plants at that point in time.
All right, so just plan for that being on the menu.
Right, and then, and so we do a lot of weddings, and we do a lot of events, and then people say, oh, well, I really love to have carrots in August. And it's like, well, that's great, except that they're not going to be, they're local somewhere, just not here.
Right.
Because, of course, that's a cooler weather thing. So anyway, so I would just kind of visit. If you don't know what might be local, then, just kind of visit your farmer's market, and you can talk. The farmers, we're lonely. We want to talk to people. So you talk to them and find out what they're going to have, and, and I would try to plan my menu around that.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So if you want a specific menu item, maybe be flexible on the date.
You have to be very flexible on the date,
If you're wanting a specific date, then you might need to be flexible on the menu.
On the menu.
Items. Okay.
Yeah, and you can do anything good. And then, you consider who's coming. Kids, certain people like some things, and you do need to look at dietary restrictions, gluten-free and all that kind of stuff. But if you stick with vegetables, you can pretty much do anything.
So we talked about time of year. What about the time of day?
Time of day.
August at noon probably doesn't sound like a great time to have it.
No. And so you need to have at least, it needs to be 7. Well, you can look at when the sun's going to set, and then just kind of plan, just backtrack to when, you want to make for an hour and a half or something like that. And then, if you've got lights or things like that, but people are going to want to be cooler. Right. And, if you're in the shade like we are now, it's 20 degrees, at least, 15 to 20 degrees cooler than it would be anywhere else. And, when we're in Oklahoma, wind will typically pick up, and maybe it'll pick up your table. So
have a good tablescape to hold down your tablecloth. Tell us a little bit. This is just a beautiful display. Where did these flowers come from?
Well, we do have a little flower garden here, in addition to our 2 acres of vegetables.
Picked them.
We did, yes. We just went out and picked this. This is actually amaranth, and these are black-eyed Susan or rudbeckia to the rest of us. And this, yarrow, and then I can't remember what these are. So anyway, and it's fun to pick, and then you can pick anything kind of if you have it. So,
yeah. Well, and I even like this where you just put some fresh fruit in a basket.
Yes.
That's beautiful.
Yes, and it's we've got some marjoram and oregano and some thyme and some sorrel, and then we have some of those are for the items that will go in our subscription service tomorrow, but our CSA tomorrow.
Okay, all right.
So, and then you can make any of those. People ask me, well, what do you do with that? What's a good recipe for a tomato? And it's like, well, let's see. You slice it, you put salt on it, you put it in your mouth. So, or you can make a salad like this. You can do this as a caprese salad with the mozzarella, the cucumbers, delicious cucumbers, and a little bit of basil, and a little balsamic vinaigrette and some olive oil, salt and pepper. And that takes 10 minutes to make it the most.
Stuff pretty well good as far as going outside. You don't have to take it right from the oven to take it outside.
No, well, and that's a beauty I think about eating. Doing something as a garden party. There's not an expectation of it being, just
hot,
ridiculously hot. Yeah, roasted. I think most things. Well, if you're in Italy, and we got to travel in Italy, and if you're traveling through Italy and those types of things, everything is at room temperature. So you make farm table spreads, and it's at room temperature because cold and hot are the extremes. At room temperature, you get every bit of flavor. You get the flavor of your herbs. Everything is just kind of perfect that way.
And last but not least, I would say probably make sure any irrigation is turned off, right?
Irrigation is turned off, yeah. And then, although we've not needed irrigation for a really long time, have we?
Good. Definitely.
So, irrigation is turned off, and then I know some people, do the whole bug thing and stuff like that, and there are some considerations, but finding a good shade place, and then you do have to have alternate plans in case it's pouring down rain. Deluges are just only so good.
And what's a kind of a good crowd that's manageable for a
that's a great
general
question.
person, I guess?
Oh, and I love leftovers. So I think it just depends. I think you have to have 10 to 12. I think that's a good number to start from. Sometimes, unless they really know each other and like each other a whole lot, I think you can get smaller numbers and they don't work as well. So I think 10 to 400 is great, like we used to do at Splendor.
I'm just kidding. With 400.
I'm just kidding. No, I think 10 to 12. For conversation starters, and there's all sorts of.
And that's not an overwhelming number to cook for. It's like a Thanksgiving sort of.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and you can have, all of these will be good tomorrow and the next day and the next day.
Fantastic.
And so I always make more versus less, because then I don't have to cook for a long time.
And if you don't run out of food, hopefully everybody stays happy, right?
They, you know what? If you invite me over for mac and cheese, I'm happy.
Excellent. Kamala, thank you so much. This is great advice for anybody wanting to do a backyard event.
Thank you. We're excited. It's a lot of fun.
We hope you enjoyed this video. It's part of our Oklahoma Gardening YouTube channel. You can also find even more videos on our OK Gardening Classics YouTube channel. And join us on social media for great gardening tips, photos, and discussion.